What's up, family? Welcome back to another video. So we got to talk about some drama, unnecessary drama, but has been spiraling around the media, and I figure I'll address it because why not get something off my chest? I guess while I'm looking at it and viewing it myself. However, this is not about the drama, not for clicks, but I want to hit a point online where common sense is just flying out the window at this point. So there's this video. You may have seen it. It's been floating around the internet where Caitlin Clark is holding her assistant coach's baby, right? That's it. A baby, a player holding a baby. Simple, wholesome, unproblematic. But somehow, somewhere, someone had to make it deeper than that. And people online are now trying to say she's using that baby as a prop to make herself look good, to make herself seem not racist, or to appeal to black fans. I mean, seriously? So that's where we're at now with the whole situation. And the whole thing is exhausting. But before I go on and give my opinion, and then I show you guys the overall sentiment to what people are saying, making this whole thing a nuisance and just divisive rhetoric constantly being spoken in regards of just being dramatic and chaotic, and there are chaotic individuals out there in the world. Um, so before I give more of my opinion and I show you what people are saying, let's check out the clip. So with no further ado, check it out.
He's like, what?
Mind you, that was a 17-second clip, right? Let me add the context for those who may not know. So Indiana Fever and the WNBA head coach is Stephanie White. If you don't know, I'm here to show you because a lot of people don't educate themselves, it seems like, any longer. They just rather speak and go along with the trend to what sounds good or seems good because they just want to get some visibility. But being ignorant is actually misleading and destructive and also not good for anybody or anyone. So why not me sit here and break it down in its entirety with common sense and get y'all the real? Because a lot of people will rather sit there and follow the train of visibility just to get visibility, whether it's a lie or not, and tearing people down in the process, which is not a good thing at all. Now, and this is the Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White. Now, the baby who she was holding was her assistant, Stephanie White's assistant. So this is the assistant coach. All right. So I'll just show you. Her name is Brienne January. She returned to the Indiana Fever as of April 2nd, 2025. All right. So this is her in its entirety. And this is the picture of her. I'd rather put a name to a face so we know what we're talking about here. So, how do we get from a lighthearted situation like this, a genuine moment, to accusations of manipulation and racial optics? This wasn't some media rollout. She didn't call TMZ and say, "Yo, get a shot of me with this baby real quick." It was a personal, candid moment that happened in the middle of a game setting, or them getting off the bus, obviously, to go to the game and enter the arena because they had a game to play that day. And there are pictures and videos going back a whole year with her holding this same kid. And if you don't believe me, this is the picture of her holding the same baby last year, her rookie year going into the WNBA, joining the Indiana Fever. All right. And this is her last year as well, with this exact same baby. As you can see, the baby compared to this picture is way bigger and taller and got on sneakers. And I mean, it's type obvious. Face look a little bit older. The baby grew up, obviously. And that was a whole toddler, you could see. So, where I'm getting at with this is The baby belongs to her assistant coach, someone she works with. She knows this child. There are pictures and videos going back a whole year I showed you holding the same kid. So for people to hop online and act like this was a one-time thing cooked up for social media points, that's just dishonest, and you're ignoring context, you're ignoring facts, and you're pushing the narrative because it fits how you want to see her. And this is what kills me because there's a whole group of people, no matter what Caitlin Clark does, they will twist it into something negative. She could donate to a cause, support a teammate, speak out against racism, and still somehow it not be enough. And people already decided they don't like her, and now they're looking for any reason to back up that decision. And that's not critical thinking. That's bias, that's hate. And what makes it worse, instead of calling that out, the internet feeds it because it's drama, and then people retweet it and then meme it and then they react to it. And before you know it, a completely false narrative is spreading like wildfire all over a woman holding a baby. So this is where we have come to today. And let me be clear. We can have real conversations when it comes to, or I should say those who want to so-called have these racial conversations. You can have real conversations about race in sports, right? If that's what you want to have. I don't care for it. I love the sports for what they are. I love basketball for basketball, football for football and NFL, and so forth and so forth. If anything, sports has been known to be the most unified thing in America throughout countries to unite people with peace. But then you have hateful people that want to destroy it by being divisive with these racist antics. But look, is this right here what's going on with these people saying it? This ain't it. If you trying to have a productive conversation about race or whatever you want to have, this ain't way to go. Because if you really out here trying to make progress on your so-called racial issues that you see for whoever started this nonsense, this kind of manufacturer outrage, it only set things back. Now, I am a high believer. If you want to end racism, stop feeding into it, stop talking about it, stop don't entertain it. I'm speaking from an aspect of how this is just destroying the beauty of sports for what sports is, which is entertainment, because people want to sit here and not only speak negative and build backlash against this woman who's just a pure WNBA player who made it to the elite level. This is her second year in the WNBA. She was a rookie last year. She plays phenomenal basketball. So why we can't just enjoy the beauty of her being a phenomenal basketball player and her adding value to the world in that way, instead of you trying to make something up about her, when in reality is we all don't really know her genuinely. You don't know her in real life. You don't know this woman in real life. You only know what she put out there, and she don't even entertain stuff. She just play ball as she should. That's her job, and that's the beautiful part about sports. Like I said. So, look, it just muddies the water with this manufacturer outrage. It makes it harder for people to take serious concerns seriously, because they're seeing stuff like this blow up and thinking, oh, it's just the internet doing too much again. And they're not wrong for thinking that the internet be doing too much, because this is doing too much, way too much. So people throwing out phrases, or we're throwing out phrases like sympathy baby, like that baby don't have a name, a family, a whole identity outside of whatever internet conspiracy someone cooked up. Because I don't know who started this from the beginning, but people are obviously feeding into it. That's not just offensive to Caitlin Clark, the basketball player, but that's offensive to the coach, to the child, to anyone with a shred of humanity at this point. You don't get to reduce a living, breathing person to a prop just because you don't like the person holding the baby. That's just crossing the line. I'm a high believer you don't come at people, you don't come at people's spouses, families, kids, you name it. You can have a real conversation, but you ain't gotta add hominem attacks just to have a productive conversation here. So, and to folks pushing this narrative that's going on, I hope you realize how you sound, because you are exposing how far you're willing to choice reality to make someone look bad that you don't even know at that. So let's zoom out for a second. This doesn't just speak to Caitlin Clark. This speaks to a bigger issue with how we talk about athletes online, especially women athletes in this case. And it's like people are more interested in creating controversy than actually appreciating the game. And we should be having conversations about performance, team chemistry, development, and leadership. But instead, we stuck on talking about whether someone's baby holding moment is racial coded. It's wild to me, and it's part of why some people don't um, take the WNBA seriously. We could take it a step further because it's being entertained. Because some of the players have absorbed this type of divisive rhetoric as well. I'm not saying no names or talking to no one specifically, but I'm putting it out there. You, those who know. And it's not that the players in the WNBA aren't talented, but because the focus keeps getting yanked away from basketball and dragged into these ridiculous online debates. So look, Caitlin Clark is young. She's learning. She's in the spotlight. And like anyone in that position, yeah, I understand she's going to be scrutinized. That's part of the game. But there's a difference between fair criticism and outright nonsense. Saying she's weaponizing the baby is nonsense. Calling her passive aggressive over taking a foul in a game, also nonsense. We got to stop acting like interaction between two athletes of different races automatically a racial incident. It's sports. Some people compete all the time. Sometimes people foul. Some all the time. It's just part of the game. So, and that's what frustrates me because it's not just random trolls online. It's people sometimes with platforms, people with influence, people who should know better, and instead of being responsible with that influence, they just stare in the pot for likes and shares. How far are you willing to go? And it just tells you how much of a character about your character as a person if you're willing to go this far for likes and shares. Just fanning the flames. All that do is take us further from the actual mission of growing the league, supporting these athletes, and having real conversations that move us forward. That's all I'm gonna say. And if your activism only kicks in when it's trending and you're silent when it's time to actually support these women in tangible ways, then maybe you're not about the cause. Maybe you're about the attention. Just putting it out there. So I'm just asking people to think, slow down, ask questions before reacting. And if you saw that video and immediately thought that this was some kind of PR stunt, maybe ask yourself why. Are you basing that on facts? Or are you letting bias lead the way? Because if we keep letting social media shape every narrative, we're going to keep missing the truth. And the truth is, not every moment is political and not every moment is fake. It's just a player showing love to her team and the people around her, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to leave it there, but I really want y'all to think, and I want to open up the comment section and actually talk about it. Do you think people was reaching with this situation? And now these are the sentiment of the people and what they were saying, which I was addressing as I gave you my full entirety thoughts and in my full opinion. So someone says, whose biracial baby does this corn fed, you know what, having her arms? It's wild. This is like the third time in 2 months a black baby has been used as a prop to prove racist, you know, isn't racist. Who let this creature hold, their son? Blah, blah. And then someone says she met this biracial child 2 minutes ago. How would they know? I don't know. That's how crazy this is. Someone said racism allegations getting out of hand. She had to pick up getting so out of hand she had to pick up a black baby. So there you go. And this was last year holding the baby, and this was last year. The two pictures I showed you earlier on in the video. But do you think people are reaching with this situation, or do you feel like the criticism is fair? Or is this another case of internet outrage going way too far? Let's keep it respectful, but let's keep it real. Appreciate you for sticking around for the full video. Hit that like button if you're tired of fake drama, taking over conversations, productive conversations at that. That's actually viable. And stay tuned because we got more real talk coming soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Spread that peace, love, and positivity. And another thing, unity over division any day. And we got to learn how to have more productive conversation based on facts and uplifting people because that's what's more important. Don't have no family peace.